looked amazing, and then the seller said, Marius, but this is my dream house. I never knew that, my house could be such beautiful.
Yeah.
And I said, Mr. Seller, what I can do, if you want to keep it, you keep it. So on that point I realized that I have to have a collateral agreement in place. Now I have it.
You do.
For 1%. So for example, after all my work, and then the people, they decide to live in the house for another couple of years, I say, Mr. Seller, I spend 1% of my time, for your property,
time,
but
also
the
money too.
And the money too, and I did everything in my power to your property to look amazing. Of listings, I always told them that I don't have too many listings at once. Why? Because I'm selling every week 1 or 2 listings. So
they disappear.
So they disappear. So I put it today, in 7 days they are sold. My average day on the market is 7 or 8 days. So I don't have listings. When they ask me, how many listings do we have? Here it's some people, they don't want you to have too many listings because they think that you don't have time enough for themselves.
Oh yeah,
or
can be
other guys, they said if you don't have listings, then you're not successful. But I said to them, no, I sold until now 20 listings, so let's say this year, and then each listing that I take in 1 week is sold for the best price.
Yes.
And I can show you. So the people, they love that. And I love the fact that I am full service. I'm not relying just in the photographer. I have a third-party photographer and videographer, and that's it.
Yeah, because you want to work with a professional. You don't want to just because everybody can take pictures. I can take pictures, but probably they're not going to be the proper one. So you want to work with a professional, which is great. And I want to go back a little bit. You said your past clients are happy, and I want to translate the happy. That means you get referrals from the happy clients. And it's even like a second, third generations you're getting, like somebody sold or bought a house with you. Now you're getting not the son or the daughter, but now you're getting another family member willing to
I have multi-generation families working with me. So I start with the grandpa. And then I sold to the grandpa, and I sold to the family itself, and they have kids. They have 30, 35 years old, and I sold to them too. So I sold to 3 generations, which is amazing.
That's the happy term.
This is the happy term. So I work 80% by referrals and repeat clients. So these are the best source of income. Because it's a trust between us and between the clients. So so the trust is the most important, let's say, element in being a successful, in having a successful sale. Because, as I said, I put so much money up front for my clients, about 1% of the total commission, just to be sure that house looks amazing.
Yeah, but it's a huge commitment from you.
It's a huge commitment
because you know your standards. You had your standards for so many years, and you want to maintain your standards. So when you actually sign a contract with a client, it's a big responsibility because you want to do at least the way you did before, if no higher.
So speaking of that, I can have even double. I can have double the listings that I sell usually. But what happens is sometimes I go to the clients and I explain what I do, and they're still saying, but I don't want to pay that much. I want to pay like a discount commission. And I said, Mr. Seller, I can do that, no problem. This for me is not a problem. But I know in my heart that this one will hurt you. Why? Because I don't have enough money to market your property properly, to do the right things. And then, Mr. Seller, you think you'll save 1% or 1.5%, but instead, Mr. Seller, you lose 10% and 15%. Do you want to do that? And some of them, they say, I don't care, I want to go with the lower commission. I say, Mr. Seller, in this case,
it's not me.
It's not me.
It's not me.
Thank you so much and I said, but they say, why? Because you still make, 1%, whatever I give, 1.5 to that I give to other guys. I said, my name is more important than that commission. Because Mr. Seller, if I'm not doing that, I know that I know for sure that I have to do for you to take the most price, the best price. Then what will happen is, I take it for less. I don't do a proper marketing. I sell 10% less than supposed to sell, like, okay, and then you'll become upset on me.
Absolutely.
And then,
Yeah,
then you're talking around you. I said, don't go with Marius,
Not
because
happy,
you see, I was not happy. I don't want to do that.
No.
Because if you make a client happy, from my experience, they tell
Other
10
people.
friends.
Yes.
Friends. But if you make them unhappy, they will
100.
talk 100, 10 times more.
I know.
So
I know.
I don't want to do that.
Yes.
For the sake of one commission, it's fine. Go.
Yeah.
And then, funny thing enough, they called me after 2-3 months. You know what, Marius? You are right. I went with that guy. I lost 100,000, like you said.
But see,
and now I am so pissed off because I didn't listen to you.
I know, and they're losing money, and they're learning their lesson, but
in the hard way.
What price?
And the sad thing is, those guys usually they're 55, 60 years old, and they go in a retirement. Okay.
Yeah.
So for them to sell myself for
really
100,000, 150,000 more than anybody else, and pay me 10,000 more, let's say, but they get 150, then makes sense because they have a better retirement. But if they go with like a new guy or a guy from a family that they don't have experience, they give the money away.
Yeah, this is why I always encourage people, and you encourage people, and we encourage people doing those videos. Ask questions, because you don't expect people know the selling process or the buying process or what real estate means, but they can ask questions and they can do like homework. A lot of information is available right now, so let's be serious. Like you can access information like in seconds if you wanna.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they should ask you questions.
And I told them, during the interview, about the question that you said. I said, if somebody is another agent saying that he is selling your house by on the open house, I said it's a misleading again, because during the open house, basically the probability to sell it's about 2-3% on the industry.
It's proven, actually. It's a statistic.
It's a statistic
I read about that.
Yeah. So. But the agents, they're doing open houses just to get more leads for themselves, not to sell their property. Because usually they're coming the neighbors, they're coming the open house hunters. They're kind of guys that they don't have anything to do during the weekend, and they go to the open houses.
Yeah, they're curious.
They're curious. It's nothing bad about that. They learn, but they are not serious buyers.
They're not the real buyers.
So I said, Mr. If you want to sell your property, you have to do 100 open houses in order to sell 3 homes. So. But usually we're doing it like we have obedience. One of our fiduciary duties to our client is obedience. So if the client said, please do the open house, even we know that it's not effective, we'll do it. No problem.
I want to talk a bit about the prices, because yes, you said you don't want to talk about the price right away, but still, how you decide for the price, and you decide with the client, you make suggestions. What is the process when you decide for the price?
After they decide, okay, let's work together, let's say, okay, let's talk about the price now. So as I said, if you want to take a lower commission, but I cannot do it, probably you sell for less. And I try to be, if the house looks bad, I'm not taking the listing. If the house looks okay, then maybe I'll do it with their furniture and stuff. So I save some money not doing the staging, but still they don't get the same price like if I do the staging completely.
Yes.
I'm asking them to rent a locker, and they do. And then I try to find them, a short rental. As in the case, just last week I helped other guys to find the short rentals. Now we are doing a full swing the renovations somewhere in Oshawa too, and then probably in about 1 or 2 weeks we'll be on the market. So they have to go out. They have to let me be inside and do everything. I supervise contractors. I take quotations. I help them to get the colors for the tiles, for the painting, for the hardwood, that I know that sells. We choose the electrical fixture, the chandeliers, the everything. So that one is included. So even the supervising contractors, I have my own contractors. If they have their own, no problem. They can work with their own. But I still have to supervise them because the contractors, they don't know what is trendy. or the sellers.
Or it takes too much time. And then you're losing maybe the opportunity to sell the property because the market is pretty
so basically what happened if they use my contractors, probably the renovation will be done in 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. For a big project, 1 month. But if they go with the other, they choose their own, it will take months.
It's way longer.
It's way longer.
So you decide with the client for the price, but also you take in consideration the market, because you can,
of course,
it's important, like you said, depends on the property, but if there are no properties sold in the last, I don't know, half a year or a year, then it's hard, right?
It's a little bit hard. So usually, let's say if you have comparables, then you do just you base your price based on comparables sold, and then you can adjust the price. So for example, if they have, let's say if you have a ravine on the back, and the comparables, they don't have a ravine and they have a normal houses, then probably, depending on the price, but probably the value is 50,000 to 100, maybe 150,000 more. If you have a walkout basement, again, it's another 50,000, 100, 150,000 bonus. So there are a lot of adjustments that they have to take in consideration. If it's a basement finished or unfinished, if they have a kitchen in basement, if they have a separate entrance, they have like an apartment in the basement. So it's now speaking about the apartments in the basement, I sell so many properties. 99.9% they don't have a retrofit status. In other words, they don't have a proof from the city and from the fire department that they can lease that basement properly, but 99.9% they don't have. The only thing is it's important. Then if you buy something like that, and I explain to my clients, I say, if you buy, let's say I'm in the buyer side and I want to buy a property with a finished basement, I said the most important is to have like an apartment and everything and separate entrance or whatever, and to let the insurance company knows when you rent it. Because you'll pay a little bit more per month. But it's official. Official.
And you can sell it
and then if something happens, the insurance company will give you the, let's say flooding happens or a small fire happens, they will reimburse you.
Okay.
The only bad thing is, let's say if something happened and somebody dies on that one, then they go to the next level. So it's not about the insurance. It's about if you have the proper retrofit status for that basement apartment.
That's a good subject. We can probably
talk another
tap
time.
into this subject, because it's real, can happen, and it's just a matter of being prepared. So as I always said, we think we have control over so many things, but in reality we only have control over 3 major things. Is the attitude, is the preparation, and is the effort. This is our control. So it's good to be prepared. If anything happens, you want to know what's the next step.
The next step?
It is important.
In a short list, let's say if they want to work with me, so I will help them moving out. I will help them renovate. Sometimes they don't have money, I borrow them money. We do this is important. So some people they want to work with me. They have good faith. They want to renovate. They're nice people, and of course
they don't have the money.
They don't have the money.
You help them.
So I help them. So I help them up to $100,000. Sometimes 25,000, sometimes 50,000, sometimes 75,000.
Good to know.
So it's good to know. So I help them, but they have to. If they are I cannot help a totally stranger. Or if it's a total stranger, I have to go to the, maybe I will do a second mortgage on the property.
Of course, you want to make sure you're getting the money back.
And then, But if it's, let's say, a referral from our sphere of influence, let's say, then it's much easier. Just a promissory note is much quicker.
Yeah, well, that's good to know. It's good to know. How about marketing? Because marketing it's important, right? So what are you doing when you have a property listed? So let's say it's listed where somebody can actually see the listing, get the information, and And also, what is in the listing? Because I'm seeing your listings very like well detailed. So what gets into the listing information when you list a property?
So I realize so many agents, they don't disclose the real square footage. Like if you see a lot of listings, and they're not disclosed. For me this is very important.
Yeah.
Because everything
you want to know from the beginning
what you're buying. When you go to the builder,
exactly,
you'll know.
Absolutely,
so a pre-construction or new construction, So in what I see in a resale that the laws there are not so strict, especially in Toronto Real Estate Board. So you can put a listing. It's not a mandatory field.
It is. Yeah.
And then let's say if they would decide to put it, let's say the property has 2,001 square feet, they can put 2,000 and 2,500. But you see, between 2001 and 2,500, it's a long way. It's 499 square feet.
Oh yeah.
So it's a big size.
Some apartments in downtown Toronto.
They're 499. So
like
you can have another extra apartment.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in my listing, I told my client, I said, we don't have to be subject to any legal proceedings after we sell the property. Yeah. So I advise you to be honest, to be straightforward, and to advertise that square footage.
Yes.
To the potential buyer.
Absolutely,
because then you don't have any problem whatsoever.
And there are clients there is market for every single property. If it's a small property, some people are looking only for the small properties.
Exactly.
Some people are looking for the big properties. But you have to address.
So that one is very important to disclose. The square footage of the property. But the point is, if you're doing an amazing detail, because the devil is in detail. So if you if you do an amazing marketing, if you I take care of every square foot of the home. I go with my team, and we try to find our way how to improve every room, every part of the house, even the garage. Like I saw so many listings. The other agents, top agents, they said, oh, Mr. Seller, it's okay to put all the belongings, whatever you have extra on the house, just to put them for now in the garage. And I said, it's a big mistake. Why? Because from my 18 experience in real estate, the last view of the buyer, a potential buyer, is the garage.
Yeah, and stays with you.
And even the house, it's wall. Everywhere is wall.
You remember the garage.
And you remember the garage because this was the last.
Because you are human beings, and this is how our brain functions.
And the buyer said, who is taking this crap from the garage? It's
like you are taking over.
You know what I mean? And then I said, no, this is we want to be like and all my listings in the garage is perfect. You need clean, painted, the floor and the walls and the ceiling sometimes.
So you want the lasting impression.
The lasting impression.
To be an impression.
Yeah,
not just the first one, but the last one too.
So my listings, they are perceived to be like they are resale listings. When the people they come to my listings, they see like a brand new house. They have that feeling,
and they want that feeling.
What I realize, the people, that very detailed people, that they want to pay the top dollar, but they don't have to do anything. They are my listings. Yeah. So they choose my listings. They pay top dollar because everything is done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I help my clients to do that with no effort, just to say yes. Yeah. You are my listing agent. Absolutely. That's it.
Yeah.
And then I take care of everything.
It's really like you're selling a car, and you are taking the car to the detailing shop.
Yes.
And you clean everything, including the engine.
Everything.
Right? Although you don't see the engine.
Yeah, we put extras for that car.
But for sure, the potential buyer will probably
pay much more.
Wants to see everything clean, because everybody wants the new. You want to buy something new, but you can't afford, but still you want the feeling. So when it's clean and it's prepared and it's it's that feeling.
Felicia, I'm obsessed with every client property like it's my property.
It's yours.
And I am obsessed
honestly, I think more than it's your property.
Maybe
you're doing more than you would do for your property.
And I'm obsessed with doing the best staging, doing the best upgrades, doing the best cleaning, doing the best marketing. And then if you do everything to the best, then doing an amazing, I'm a top negotiator guy. So then I can, the last step is to negotiate, to put a price that you attract people. Usually if it's a good market or balanced market, and it's like, let's say it's a freehold, even a condo, we go for a multi-proper situation. So I sold the last 2-3 listings, I sold in a multi-proper situation, all of them. So and it's not a crazy market. It's still working.
It's still working.
For me, for other agents, no, but for me, it's still working because I know how to, I'm detailed from A to Z. And the people love what I do, and they feel like they buy a new home, even if it's a resale home.
Yeah. So can you go a little bit in detail about negotiation? You negotiate for the client, but still you have to back and forth with clients. So how does the process work when you have, let's say you have an offer, but not maybe what you expected, or so how it works?
So there are 2 types of negotiation and selling a property. One, as I said, we always advise clients, if it's a good market, it's a good property, we price it, let's say 10% lower than market value. So doing that, the buyers, they see that it's an amazing deal, and they jump to put an offer.
Yes.
The last one I had 9 offers. The previous one I had 20 something offers. So anyway, so the idea is if I put it 10% lower, I try to sell it for 20% or 27% more. So in other words, to recoup the 10% that I already put it, by my knowledge. But then to get another 10 to 15 to 20% over the market value.
Okay.
So this one is negotiating in one night. Usually I do it at my seller home, and always the sellers are with me, and I negotiate with the other agents on the phone, on the speaker. I want to be transparent. I want to be clear, and then my clients to listen everything I said. It's much more trustful. They see that I put passion, that I have skills, that I have, experience.
You have nothing to hide.
No, I don't have anything to hide. And the people love that. I said, my previous agents, I was at home, he was at home, I didn't know what happened, and then he came with a price. I was not happy with that price, but I didn't have any chance. With me, they're there, they hear everything, they're in the middle of conversation. And they know everything.
Participating.
They're participating. Yes.
Good.
And they choose the guys. So we have, let's say, top 5. I said, Mr. Seller, this guy is giving the most, but doesn't have the deposit. The second guy is a little bit 10,000 less, but has double the deposit. The closing is much closer. So it's not just about the price. It's about the, how much deposit they put, and then how fast is the closing. So let's say if my client wants 30 days. And the best offer, let's say, is 90 days, but the second best is 30 days, like they want, and just with maybe 5,000 less or 10,000 less, maybe they choose the second one, because they want the closing, the sooner the better, because the market can change suddenly, and then that property, even let's say we get 10, 15,000 more or 20% more, 20,000 more, they cannot close because the market, goes down, and then the appraisal of the bank is not coming at the price that the property is selling, and that is a problem.
To be like faster.
So it's a very complex situation, Felicia. It's not about to get the best price and to prepare the house and to negotiate and to deal with contractors and to to take care of everything. Each step, it's very difficult. When, let's say, you put the property on the market, it's just like an iceberg. You can see just the type of the iceberg. That one is the on the property on the market, but the hard work is below the water. So sometimes it takes me 1 month or 1 month and a half or even 2 months to put a property on the market properly. Because we have to declutter, we have to prepare the homes to do the upgrades and then do the staging and the cleaning. It's a complex situation.
It's a complex, and I know because I had this experience with you, and I know exactly what do you mean. And I know it was for the beginning of our conversation, this question, but. Are you working with clients who are already approved by the bank, or what is the stage of pre-approves or?
So this question is if I'm working on the buyer side, like a buyer agent.
Okay.
And then of course I will work just with the people that they have pre-approval, or at least I know what's going on, because if you're working with a buyer that are not approved, and then you get into a multi-power situation, they really like the property, and do you have a clue if they are getting the property or not? Let's say you jump on and then you put a firm offer.
Yes.
Just to take it, and then after the offer is firm, you give 100,000 deposit, and then you realize from the mortgage broker that that guy cannot take the property. So then you lose 100,000. You lose maybe you potentially lose your license. So it's a very dangerous situation.
It is. And I know you work with very reputable mortgage brokers, so you can actually recommend good.
So if somebody, a buyer is starting to work with me, they decide to work with me, then I send them, before we go to see properties, I send them to my my brokers, my mortgage brokers that I trust.
Yes, exactly.
And then they do for them credit score, and they do, they ask for all the documents, letter of employment, T4A, T4, whatever, for the last 2 years to see, and then I have to, if they have a house to sell, then I have to give them the approximative price for selling their home. And the commission that I take, and the net that they will take. So then, knowing the net from their actual home and moving to another home, then they have to do all this calculation, based on how much it's remaining from the house after I sold it.
Because you have to know.
And then how much are they making per year? How much they pay taxes in the last 4? If they are self-employed, they're going to the T4As and T4s. So it's a little bit, but all the time I take the necessary steps just to don't put the client in jeopardy. If you're not doing that, so many agents, they are not doing that, and they're jumping, just going to see homes, they're in a big trouble. Because in case they don't get a mortgage,
you have to be careful.
You have to be very careful.
And I know the profession you are working with, they are pretty much your level. So because you can just play with with those type of decisions. So before we will close our discussion, I have two topics. One is the inspection, the home inspection. What can you say about the home inspection? What we have to expect, what we have to prepare, how it looks like, and how is the process for home inspection?
So there are two types. Let's say if I'm a listing side, then I'm a listing agent. Always I include the pre-home inspection part of my services. So basically I hire an inspector before I put the listing on the market, after the renovations are done, after the staging and everything, like 2-3 days before putting on the market, I ask a home inspection to come to search all the house, to do a proper home inspection report. And then if we see something that has to be done, then I will ask my clients to do it. It's not a big deal to do certain things. They are major things. Of course, I have to disclose them. But and then it's very important, because we don't have any surprises, because the buyer is not doing their home inspection, because they are, usually they are okay with my home inspection.
Okay, that's important to know, actually.
Like a listing agent. So many listing agents, they spend $500 or $600 to do that. I do, it's included. But in this way, I protect my clients from future legal issues. Because let's say a house looks amazing, just some small things. Let's say they don't have proper ground, the electrical outlets. They don't have.
It's so interesting, because you're looking to an outlet of your outlet.
No, my home.
Right now.
So if they don't have a proper grounding, then let's say the future buyer kids, they can get electrocuted, and then they will have big problems. So I said to my clients, even seems to be a small thing. Let's do it before the listing will be on the market, because you never know what's going to happen in 2, 3, 4 years from now. And Mr. Client, I will protect you. I pay for it. You have just to accept it. And then to repair it in case, so
especially something major. I mean, this is huge.
That's huge. It looks like small, but it's huge.
It's not.
So I take care of everything. I try to protect as much as I can my client from the future legal disputes with the new buyer if something happened. If I'm on the buyer side, usually the other agent, they are not doing the pre-home inspections like me when I'm a listing. So always we do the home inspection. I have a special guy. I refer them to my clients, and then they do a proper home inspection before we purchase a property.
Yeah. But you mentioned few years from the selling. How many years you can actually guarantee, or like?
No, it's not guaranteed. The home inspection is good until the closing date. Of course, if it's something that is not disclosed, it's a hidden material fact. Then the buyer can sue the seller.
Okay, I understand.
But for this is I'm doing on the listing side because I don't have to have any problems.
Yes, down the road.
Yeah, down the road.
Yeah. Okay, I have one last question.
Yes.
Any clients with remorse decision, they don't want to sell anymore, like, because can happen, especially if you're doing like renovations, big renovations, the house looks totally different, looks brand new, and then they say, oh my goodness, this is my house, I don't want to sell it anymore. Do you have any experience like this?
Was happening to me before and I learned from it. So imagine, when I do all everything for my clients, I spend about 1% of my income, to promote them. We included staging, marketing, as I say, decluttering, supervising contractors, choosing materials, etc. So I had a situation a few years ago, and they decided after, the house was average, and then after we did it completely, it looked amazing. And then the seller said, Marius, but this is my dream house. I never knew that, my house could be such beautiful.
Yeah.
And I said, Mr. Seller, what I can do, if you want to keep it, you keep it. So on that point, I realized that I have to have a collateral agreement in place. Now I have it.
You do.
For 1%. So for example, after all my work, and then the people, they decide to live in the house for another couple of years, I say, Mr. Seller, I spend 1% of my time, for your property, but
money too.
And the money too, and I did everything in my power to your property to looks amazing. So if you decide not to sell, no problem. You pay me 1%, and you're free to go.
And you can keep the house.
So and I think it's fair because you avoid legal situations. Other agents, they sue them. I work for you. No, I said no. Don't worry. This is 1%. You pay me, and then they are happy because I'm upfront.
Yes.
I spend all my money to promote their home. They don't spend one penny, and they got the best price.
Yeah.
So what's the better than that?
It's good to know because people are sometimes afraid. Oh my God, I don't want to sell the house anymore. It's always a solution there.
I'm one of the few. So I didn't hear in my industry that somebody is doing something like that. Why? Because nobody is putting upfront so much money like I do and work.
Yeah.
Imagine just to free moving. So just a free move, let's say a four bedroom house, to move everything to it costs you 4,000 or 5,000. With a company, a moving company, it's included.
It is.
And then to stage it, another 4 or 5. Yeah. It's included.
I know people, they don't sell their houses because they don't want to move. They don't want the process of moving because they're like
I help them to do that.
So you're helping them.
They moved to like a short-term rental. Yeah. We sold it, and then the closing is 1 month. Some of them, they even don't go back to their home because the home, when I leave it, when I take all my furniture out, it's vacant and it's spotless. And the client, they prefer just to stay another 2 or 3 weeks on BRB. And they move directly to the new home. And
from my experience, because we did the same thing,
we did the same thing.
It's actually easier to detach from your house we lived for so many years. We lived for 16 years in our house, and because we took out all the furniture, and it was your beautiful furniture. And when we walk in, my husband and I, we didn't have the feeling it's our house anymore, but it wasn't sold yet. So that's a great transition for people who are actually attached to their house or their home, because you don't feel it's your home, because you don't see your furniture, you don't have memories, because we are making memories in our house. So when you don't see the furniture, it's a little bit easier because you're not attached anymore. And
by the way, I forgot to tell you something when I put a listing price on the property. I forgot to tell you something very important. So the reason, because I'm so straightforward, is that I invest 1% of my money to list that property. Imagine if I let them know that your property is worth $500,000 more, and then I do all my work, of course I cannot sell it just because I knew that I priced it very high.
Yes.
Then I probably end up in a lawsuit with the owner because I said, oh, you promised me half million more. You did everything, so they will avoid to pay me the 1%.
Okay.
So other agents that they are not doing so, they are doing just some photos, like normal photos. They don't risk too much, so they can tell whatever price they want.
Yeah.
But again, my philosophy is to be straightforward, to sell it, to get good refos, to get good reviews, and plus, because I put my money up front, I have to be that like that, because it's my commitment to them.
Yeah.
But an agent who is doing just the photos and videos, which is just few $100s, maybe
not
few
even.
hundred, not even.
Maybe not even that.
They can tell a price that even they don't believe because they don't risk anything. They lose like 400-500. I lose 5,000 just in the moving situation, plus another 4-5. You know, so working with me, it's a guarantee that I'm telling the truth. You know, the range of the price that they will be sold. And then we sold it for the highest price in a shortest period of time. Because guess what? I need that furniture that in that house for the next client that I have to sell it the next week.
Perfect. Marius, thanks so much. Amazing. Always amazing information. And we are welcoming your questions if you have any questions. And like I said in the beginning, we'll take a short break from our podcast, and we'll be back in September.
Have an amazing summer. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, I hope you'll have an amazing summer. And if you go on vacation, if you go wherever you decide to go, we hope you'll have great time, and you need time to relax.
Yes, we have to take some time to relax.
You need time to go and relax. You need a vacation.
Yeah, sure. So hopefully we can get. Now we are very busy. We have to sell another 4 listings this summer. So hopefully after I sold that 4 listings, and then nobody will call me, which is very unusual.
Probably
then
it's
going to happen. But hopefully we can take 1 week vacation at least, or 10 days.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Felicia.
Course, always, it's a pleasure.
For the interview, and God bless you and your family.
The real estate industry is constantly evolving, so it's important to work with an agent you can trust. In Markham, Marius Mitrofan offers unparalleled service to his clients. With a full marketing package, top-tier negotiating skills, and client care available around the clock, he does it all. Not only does Marius provide 18 years of expertise, but also a team of stagers, marketers, and contractors available to assist with any and all aspects of real estate. Contact Marius Mitrofan today.